Now tuning in to Earbud Media. Audio for everyone.
Here we are.
My body just obligatory, as we started recording, just immediately went into the Macarena, and I don't know why. It was just we were you said, okay, I'm recording, and I was like, great, I don't know.
I have a compulsion. I have to Macarena.
That was just where my white body went into.
Right, that is white culture, if you really want to boil it down. It's just not being able to stop yourself from doing the Macarena at inappropriate times.
I feel like the best way to start, really eliminating white people, if we really wanted to get into it, is if, we got a lot of, trashy white people that we wanted to start canceling, and we got them into a gym. And we had two sets of speakers in that gym, and on one side we played Sweet Caroline, and on the other side we played the Macarena, and their bodies we would not be able to figure out what to do first, because our bodies would be doing the Macarena, but our mouths would be singing Sweet Caroline, and so we would just short circuit.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh my god, I think that's how we start a civil war. I think that's how we do it.
Maybe.
So I'm not saying we should. I'm just saying we have the tools if we wanted to. The ball is in your court, America.
Yeah. I mean, all I'm saying is take it back now, y'all.
Oh my god.
2 hops this time.
God.
Welcome to Into the Twilight, where we talk about toxic white culture.
Yeah.
And dances
and who
that
better
I
than
did in
2 experts?
Truly. The most toxic people.
Yeah.
Truly the spookiest stuff we could talk about in Halloween.
Yeah. Happy Halloween, y'all. How are you doing, my dude?
Oh, I'm so tired.
Yeah.
I am fine.
Yeah.
Just saying that slowly with a lingering question mark at the end is probably the best thing. I'm fine, I guess.
Yeah.
The best way to explain how I am is, 1, I am going to a wedding this weekend. By the time that this is up, I will have gone to the wedding. And naturally, my dress is giving me a stress ingrown hair on my neck, which is great. Love that for me. But school is going fine. If you wanted to know my reputation with my students this year, 2 of them ran at me today and asked me to facilitate their conspiracies club that they're trying to start up. So my reputation is solid with the kids. And also my homeroom won a prize, so I have to find a clean TikTok compilation to play for them tomorrow in class.
So wholesome and good.
Yeah. Which I think I found one, but there's a dog humping another dog, and I don't know how that will go.
Yeah.
So that's where I'm at right now. How are you?
I'm also fine. You know, when they're when you ask someone how they're doing, or how's it going, and they're like, it's going, that means it's a cry for help. That's been my mood for this week. Because I've been thinking it's one of those weeks where I've been thinking it's Thursday every day, and it's still not Thursday.
Yep.
To peel back the curtain, I work a full-time job, and I also do stuff outside of that, which means I'm always tired. And it's film festival season in Chicago, and also on the news side of things. shit's popping off because teachers are going on strike, and it's chaotic on all angles and all sides.
Yeah.
But we're here, we're living, and we're trying not to combust.
Yep. Yeah, that's awful. I love that we every week ask each other how we're doing, because one, I don't often check in with myself, but I don't. There was a tweet I saw, I think it was yesterday, that my cat's just crying, same cat, that Ash, the marsupial pudding on Twitter, they had said, like, they wanted to start a revolution because the social norm of asking people, how are you, is just, like, exhausting, which is same. And Fiona, fucking Neon Fiona, responded to that tweet and was like, I prefer asking people what's good, because it just, like, throws people off, which I love that. And I usually do something similar when I'm in person, or I try to specify it of, like, how are you doing today? Because if someone just asks me, like, how are you? I'm just, like, awful. I'm, like, stressed. Like, the world's on fire. I don't know. Mode. But if someone asks me, like, how are you doing today? Then I can be like, I usually can have an answer for that.
Sure. Kind of here's my pitch to assuage that terrible interaction. What if we, as a society, normalize... Well, yes, that for sure, all the time.
Great.
But also normalize the phrase, what's crack-a-lackin'?
Thank you. That's what I want.
I think it, like, gets rid of the tension, and it's fun, and you're just so, like, charmed by it that you're like, oh, things are great, you know?
Yeah.
And it's not really a lie, because you're just so delighted.
And it would finally take away the, like, villainization that we have in society of, like, snapping and popping our knuckles in public, which I have been on a personal campaign my whole life for this.
Right.
So that I completely agree with.
If I asked someone what's crack-a-lackin' and someone responded by just cracking all of their joints and bones and shit in front of me, I would lose my mind. I would jump out of the nearest window with such vigilance.
All I'm saying is that I definitely worked for, like, a couple years with group projects in college with people in, like, small confined parts of libraries when I just needed a moment to just, like, snap my knuckles and use those, like, old library chairs to, like, snap my back. And I just don't need judgment from people anymore for having old bones.
Right, and that's your truth. And your truth.
And that's my personal crusade.
2020 presidential platform.
No more judgment for old bones, okay?
Cut to you on the debate stage, cracking your back over the podium.
Just, like, flipping my back over and walking like in The fucking Exorcist. Yeah.
That would be brave, and I would vote for you, so.
Thank you. Oh, God. There was a point, I think it was, like, last week or the week before, when I was trying to relate to my youth by talking to them about, like, old school school chairs. I don't know if you had these in, like, middle school or high school when the desk was attached to the chair.
Oh, yeah.
Those metal boys.
Yes.
And I used to tell them that, like, the only thing I looked forward to in middle school was getting to school so I could crack my back on those things. Because it became, like, this ritual where if I didn't do it daily, my back would hurt. Right. And us little, like, rich bitches, we go to school where, like, their desks and their chairs aren't attached. And so these kids don't know the sweet relief of, like, of coming to their chair, aka Mr. Brightside, and just, like, snapping their back. So I had to literally Google it for these kids, and they were like, oh, those things that we see in old movies. And I was like, I'm sorry.
That was my life.
Yeah, they've never had their ass, like, stuck to one of those things in the summer.
Oh my gosh, wow.
Anyways, this is all just Segue Nation, so whatever.
If you take anything away from this podcast, is that Allie has had old bones since she was born.
For real, though.
Fully came out with old, dusty bones.
It's just like, you knew I was an air sign from the get-go, because I've always had just, like, too much air in my bones. Just, like... just trying to constantly snap my bones.
Yeah.
There's nothing scarier to me than just imagining me as a toddler just, like, snapping my knuckles. What? Oh, how did my parents not drop kick me around? Just, like, knock it off.
I hope this is the episode where we just lose all of our listeners. Like, this is the final straw. Us talking about bones.
I can't tell if this is, like, too hashtag relatable for people, or if it's just like, this is the one where it's too spoopy, you know?
Yeah.
All right. Anyways, we have actual current events, stuff that is
we got news.
We have so much news. How did this happen?
Yeah, it's been a wild week, my dudes.
For real. Okay, we have, first of all, we have a Cody's Corner to get into. You do this as if you don't have a tool.
Fuck, hold on, let me get it.
Every week.
I keep forgetting.
Your little stylophone is just getting dust over in the corner.
It's just cold and withering. All right. One moment, everyone. Thank you for your patience. All right.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Tiny Desk concert of Cody.
Welcome to my corner.
Thank you.
Welcome to my dark, twisted mind. Today, I'd like to talk about a few things that's been rattling my noggin for the last, 8 hours.
Thank you.
One of which is a quick Robert Eggers corner.
I'm so horny.
Allie, I need you to just reel it in for a minute.
No.
So, if you're unfamiliar to the space, Robert Eggers, director of movies, one of which is The Lighthouse, which we've talked about extensively because our boys are pads.
Our dads.
And Willem Dafoe in it, doing cool things. He also did The Witch, also known as The Vitch.
That's also what I call my private parts.
Yeah, I gotta go. But, found out that he's doing a new thing. It's not till 2023, so we got a little bit of hype time.
The best year.
But he's making a movie about Nosferatu. And this is just my call to arms. Robert Eggers, if you're free anytime, literally anytime, to come on the podcast, we have so much to talk about. So much vampire lore, but also Robert Pattinson. Like, there's a lot of stuff we could shoot the shit about, and I'd really think we'd have a great time. So this is my pitch. Robert.
Does this mean...
Yes.
...that we need to keep this podcast going for 4 more years?
I think we will have just, like, bullshit for the next 4 years and think of something, but really the climax here is gonna be the Nosferatu movie in 2023. That's our swan song episode. That's our trip to Disneyland at the end of the podcast. That's it. It's Nosferatu with Robert Eggers.
Finally.
Yeah.
The ultimate callback
Yes.
to me is talking about fucking Nosferatu. My sweet release.
Oh, God.
Here's the thing, though.
Yeah.
I will say, I've said before, and I stand by it, that Nosferatu can get it. I don't know about this Nosferatu, though.
Yeah, he's a little scary looking. I'd recommend looking up the poster because it's very haunting.
Yeah.
But this is what I see when I see Nosferatu. So whenever Alice says Nosferatu can get it, this is the face I see.
This is the Nosferatu that's a little rough around the edges.
He's a bad boy. This Nosferatu.
Yeah, the Nosferatu that I always imagine that, like, can get it is, like, the OG Nosferatu. That Nosferatu is, like, me entering college. This Nosferatu that Robert Eggers sees is, like, me exiting college. Which is, wow. It's definitely, as it says here in the description, it's certainly a loose reimagining, that's for sure.
Yes, definitely loose. Jesus.
Is Nosferatu coming through you right now?
Yes, that's a spirit.
Okay.
The other side of this Cody Corner that I'd like to bring you guys to is a beautiful image that it's on our Twitter. You can go see it right now. Originally tweeted by someone named Trish, also known as Ultra Gloss, who said 19-year-old Robert Pattinson could walk so modern e-boys and TikTok boys could run. Which, already, something we've discussed, regrettably, on this podcast. For better or for worse, we've discussed this. Yeah. But it's a photo from something, a magazine? I don't know. I can't find this.
It had to be.
Right. And so it's a photo of Arpats with his fucking beautiful little ruched sweater and a cup of coffee and a beanie and his New Balances. And but what really entranced me about this was the caption, which just says, Rob, 19, occupation, actor. I'm wearing the only things I've got. My fashion icon is James Dean.
Wow.
Now, can we just sit with this information that we've just heard?
I would love to.
Because I have so many... It's perfect. Like, it's so... Everything about it. It's poetry. This is what I'm talking about. This poetry moves people, and this is it for me. This is a beautiful haiku. I love it.
It is a haiku. The thing I love most about this, too, is that it's in, like, a typewriter font as well.
Right.
And so it either looks like it was written on an actual typewriter or that someone cut and pasted these from different magazines and pasted them
right.
into this magazine issue, which I love just as much.
But I just love the idea of noted film bro Robert Pattinson being super into James Dean.
Yes.
It's just so good. All of it's good. It's just perfect.
It's, all of it is chef's kiss, you know?
Mwah.
Too powerful.
Yes.
Wow. Thank you, whatever magazine that was.
Yes, thank you for your service. And that concludes Cody's Corner.
It always reminds me of the fucking instrument from the Grease movie.
Oh,
that they use to end the announcements.
Yeah, I do feel like I'm just doing the announcements at a high school, like over the intercom.
So powerful.
Yeah.
I love it. Speaking of power, we need to talk about the official and new Charlie's Angels trailer.
Boy, do we.
It's,
and also the poster?
The poster is something.
Listen, I'm not sure how good this movie's going to be.
I don't think it's going to be good.
And I don't think it's... You can put me on the record saying I don't think it's going to be good. But
that doesn't mean I'm not going to see it.
Right. First of all, it's our legal obligation to see this opening weekend. Because it's for horny people's rights and our rights, specifically.
I agree. I know that they're doing something specific by interstitching the music video into the trailer.
Yeah.
But I really hate that.
Yeah.
I know this movie is not going to be good, and I hate that.
But also,
all I wanted.
Picture this. We're just going to see these three very attractive ladies.
Yes.
With their guns and their spy stuff and their action and kicking butt.
Yes.
For like 2 hours. And we're going to have fun.
Yes.
Probably.
Hopefully.
Yeah.
I think so.
I think we'll have fun. So, we're here for it.
Yes, I agree. I think that it will definitely be seen by people.
Yes.
And it looks like they had fun making it.
Right. And that's important.
It is. So, I don't hate that. I just... How nice would it have been if it was actually a good film?
Right. One can hope, in a just world, maybe.
But
my least favorite thing about this poster, it is haunting to look at for sure. But it is also hot, so there's parallels here.
True.
But it's such an embodiment of this, like, Elizabeth Banks milquetoast feminism that's
True.
like a half and half of like
Oh,
one
God.
side is just a closet with sparkly clothes and shoes and lipstick, and then the other side's like weaponry and guns, and it's like pretty girls can kick butt too. It's like, all right, yeah, I'm down with that. You didn't have to be so on the nose about it, but cool.
the background of this looks so much like old school Mary-Kate and Ashley movies.
Yes.
But if they weren't like hardcore guns, because like old school Mary-Kate and Ashley movies would have been like katanas or
right.
I don't know, fucking
Mary-Kate and
Ninja
Ashley
stars.
joined the CIA.
yeah, exactly. I would have ate that shit up as a younger person too.
Oh, sure.
It's just
yeah.
I don't know. Watching the trailer, I was like, oh, so Elizabeth Banks did all those Pitch Perfect movies, learned nothing other than, oh, these movies make a shit ton of money.
Right.
And so that's what we're going off of here.
And done. Roll
Great.
print.
Oh, well. Whatever. I'm going to see it anyways.
Hell yeah.
It's fine. Okay. So, speaking of movies, we do have a couple of Batman updates.
Hell yeah.
First one is like hot off the presses,
Yes.
which is about Jonah Hill. Do you want to update us?
Yeah, we mentioned briefly that Jonah Hill was in talks to be in the Batman movie. I think as the Riddler?
As the poker, as the something,
My favorite Batman character, the Poker.
as the tickler.
Oh, so he was in negotiations to be either the Riddler or the Penguin.
I mean, same.
Right,
Yeah.
which are two very Jonah Hill-esque roles, perhaps. But I think when we originally talked about it, it was about the Riddler.
Yeah.
But turns out he said no, and he's out.
Yeah.
Yeah, we
I'm
don't know
assuming
why.
because of
Right.
money.
Maybe, yeah. It seems like it was just very early in the whole process. But I think
Fair.
he was just like, no, I'm good. Which is sad, but I hope he does something else fulfilling.
Right. Yeah, interesting. I was definitely curious
Right.
to see how that would have looked anyway.
Yeah.
But we do have news about casting though.
Oh, yeah.
Do you want to tell us about the news that we have confirmed?
Well, this just took over Twitter. If you were on Twitter this whole week, you maybe saw this link posted 40 million times. Every other tweet was probably this link because it's important.
I'm freaking out.
And it's that Zoe Kravitz is gonna be Catwoman in the Batman. And my loins are not ready.
I want it so bad.
Right. As the official bisexual Twilight podcast.
Honestly,
This is offensive. This is so
it's a crime.
upsetting. It's so abrasive, and I'm gonna explode.
Yeah, when I saw this, I was like, I didn't even know that I needed this until right now.
Yes.
And now I saw someone like right after this that was fan casting Jessica Chastain as Poison Ivy, and I was like, can you just, I need to breathe. Like, please
Yeah.
stop.
I need a minute, okay? I can't keep
but-
seeing her beautiful face on my timeline. I gotta get out of here.
Just everyone shut up, please. But yeah, I think this is perfect. I'm so excited. I'm definitely interested. I want to know more. I need to see this movie right now.
Thank you, Matt Reeves, for your service. Thank you, all the casting directors involved in this movie, for your service.
Yeah, I'm very excited for sure. So, especially because I've always associated, because wasn't Halle Berry Catwoman before?
Hell yeah, she was.
Okay, so, yeah, I think this will definitely be good. Because I've always associated with it, like, Catwoman always being very, like, suave.
Sure.
And, like,
yeah.
too cool for school.
Having
and so
very
when
powerful energy.
Yeah, and that's what I think of when I think of Zoe Kravitz. So, fuck yeah.
Hell yeah,
I love this.
Dude. Yes.
Hell yeah. All right. Love that. We have some questions.
Hell yeah, we do.
First of all, is not necessarily a question, but more so an attack on me personally. I tell you all week after week never to correct me.
And yet
the audacity truly that you all have. And I tell you all not to correct me, not because I don't want to grow as a person, but mainly because I don't remember what I say.
It's true.
And yet, here you all go. So, fucking Becky. Shout out.
Our
Hi.
lovely patron.
First, thank you for paying us money. Had the audacity to send us a message saying that I forgot that Edward Cullen drives a Volvo and apparently said that he drove an Audi instead. So
how could you have made such a fatal error?
I'm going to hell. It's my crime, okay? I will pay for it. My bad.
I do love this universe where Edward drives an Audi, though. It really reframes the whole Moody being in his car, listening to the Doors or whatever, like really loudly.
It does.
In a different light, which I appreciate.
Yes, it does. I have no idea that I don't remember this at all, but thank you for the catch.
Yeah, Allie won't apologize, so I'll do it on her behalf. We're sorry.
Yeah,
she's too proud.
My bad.
Oopsie.
My bad. Listen, everyone has those days, okay? All right. Next question is from Janae, asking what I've always wanted to, but have never had the courage to bring up.
Yeah.
Which is, Janae says, I'm not sure if you all have a plan for what you're doing after you, but staying in the lane of toxic masculinity, God bless, would you ever consider doing the Divergent series? 4, as the books progress, is definitely a bit of a mess. I want to know your thoughts on this. Immediately go.
Is this where I confess I've never read any of the Divergent series?
Okay, so then we have to, is what you're saying.
Okay, yeah, that was the one thing of the whole dystopian YA stuff that I never read.
Oh,
that was the one thing
God.
I totally missed. The books and the movies. Missed them all. Missed them.
I love them. The movies are awful.
Yeah, that's what I thought whenever I saw a trailer.
The movies are awful. Which is so bad. And I hate a lot. Triss is great. And she's the main character, and she's great and perfect, and I love her a lot. Mm-hmm. And 4 is annoying, mainly because I feel so seen by him. I would love to do that, mainly because there is so much toxic masculinity in those. Holy shit. That would be amazing.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Put it in the repertoire, in the catalog.
Oh my God. I don't know. I would love to do that at some point. I don't know if we've ever want to get back into doing vampire stuff or like supernatural stuff.
Yeah.
I am open to suggestions.
Right.
Since our main focus at this True. Since our main focus at this point is like toxic masculinity, we really like our genres are kind of open at this point.
We're just looking for some bad boys.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, our eyes and hands are open to trash.
Yes, all forms. Give it to us.
Yeah. Okay. Speaking of trash, our intern has a question for us.
Reporting for duty.
Would you like to ask this question?
Yes, from our humble servant, Taylor Browntown Lautner.
Thank you.
Who asks, who from the original Twilight cast would you want to play the Joker in the new Batman movie? My money is on our boy Jackson.
Oh my
Rathbone.
God.
This is such a great... I think Jackson is a good choice if we're keeping the Jasper hair. Like, he's halfway there. You know what I mean? Like, he's very close.
Truly.
But hear me out.
Yes.
Rosalie.
Oh my God.
Hear me out. Anna Kendrick.
Oh my God.
I'm just saying.
Yeah.
I'm just saying.
Yeah, that would be pretty powerful. The other one that came to mind for me, what's his name? Is Butt Crack Santa. Fucking Waylon Forge.
My God. Every time I think I've forgotten about Butt Crack Santa, he just comes crawling back into my subconscious.
How could you ever forget?
I'm trying so hard.
Yeah. I feel like Butt Crack Santa would be an odd pull, but a powerful pull.
Right. A cult classic pull, you know?
Yeah.
Maybe not the one we wanted, but the one we deserved.
Or, what about the one that we don't know that we want, but maybe we need, which is fucking Stephenie Meyer herself.
Okay, now we're talking, baby. Yes.
What if she just needs to let loose some fickle fish rage?
Right, yeah. Listen, she can rock a wild lipstick. You know, we've seen her do it.
That's true.
Just extend it up a little bit and we're good, baby. We're there.
Yeah, she knows how to pull off a weird face. I'll say that. And she has some acting creds. She's been in both Twilight and Breaking Dawn Part 2. So she already pays into the guild.
Right. Giving performances of a lifetime, might I add.
That's true.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think she already has a IMDb page. So.
All right.
As an actress.
So,
I mean, that's all I'm
You're
saying.
welcome.
You know?
America.
Our newest Joker. Speaking of which, did you watch that digital short from SNL last week?
I did, yeah.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Very good. Very good.
Wow. Too powerful, you know?
Yes.
That part with the Big Bird really threw me for a loop.
Yeah.
And the Count. Oh my God. All right. Anyway. All I'm saying is I relate, you know?
Yeah.
Okay. So, we should probably get into this bullshit.
Might as well.
Things are gonna get buck wild, folks. We are, like, in the end game now.
Man, fucking strap in, because shit goes from 0 to 100. Or, I guess, like, 100 to, like, 150 real quick. Real quick.
Yeah.
Real quick.
Last week, at the end of chapter 44, that was all the, like, Amy Adam bullshit.
We were just meandering, having a great time with a subplot that's non-existent and not important.
Yeah, and with fucking Beck not texting back, and then Joe gets back to his apartment, Beck was naked with a pie, and
Joe fucked the pie.
Joe fucked the pie, and Beck was using Joe's toothbrush again because they're both awful people.
And they ruined Thanksgiving dinner.
Right. Yeah, because they're both awful. So, chapter 45, things get awful. If you just wanted a little peek behind my curtain, Spooks has his toes on my microphone right now because he's sprawled out.
So charming.
Yeah. And for folks that are interested, I did take a photo of my cat and put it on the Twitter account because he is disassociating real hard right now as we're recording.
It's a fat mood.
It's a big old mood. My cat, who should be on mood stabilizers, but is not. So, he's just on a steady...
Relatable.
just is on a steady dose of catnip. Okay, so also, well, would be mood, but not mood. Okay, so chapter 45. Joe talks a lot about pumpkin pie.
Yes.
He still wants to fuck that pie.
Can't stop thinking about it.
He just doing a lot of description about this pie. Beck is like living this domestic dream about like, remember when I made you that pie? Even though it was right out of the can, which like he digs on her for, but it's New York, baby. Like
Right.
where is she supposed to get fresh pumpkin?
It's true.
So I don't even know like what time of year this is, but that would be hard to get. So anyways, they're smooching, they're kissing a lot. She's microwaving pie. Joe is cleaning out his search history because he is afraid that she will look on his phone and see that he has Googled Amy Adams or Amy Adams.
Yeah, his frantic search history of like, woman who just went into my bookstore. She wore a sweater.
Yeah, so he's terrified of that, even though apparently she has never looked through his phone before. He's talking a big game that they have sex and Beck has, quote, never come this hard in her life. And he both knows that and feels that.
Mm.
And this was the part where I paused and made notes in my Kindle that he has watched her hump her pillow before, and so I wrote that I beg to differ
Right.
at this part.
Right.
So, seems hard to believe.
Right. And she's also an English grad student who uses sex with men as a coping mechanism. So she's
Right.
probably had a lot of great sex, actually.
I would believe so.
comparatively. I think the odds are high there.
Yeah.
So it seems unlikely.
And she seems like the kind of person who would advocate for what she needs.
Right.
So again, I don't believe that she doesn't get what she needs out of sex.
right.
It's just hard for me to believe that in sex, Joe gives, I don't know, he does anything in sex other than what he needs,
Right.
I guess.
Yeah, he does talk a big game about being like, oh, I love how you're so communicative and you tell me what you want and all that stuff. And it's like, bro, you need this because this is your roadmap. Because like otherwise you're like, oh, fuck, I don't know what I'm doing. I'm so scared of women.
To me, given what we know about Joe, he seems like very much like a selfish person who has sex.
Yes.
And so it's just hard for me to believe that Beck would have to do anything other than like advocate for herself.
Right.
Of
Yeah.
like, no, touch me here. Like,
Right. Hey,
have
hey.
to guide him through the process. So, after this, he's like romanticizing the whole thing about like, we shower together behind the yellow police tape. And it's like, oh, fuck yeah. I forgot about his curtain. He also is like, he's had sex and so he's all like dickmatized and he's like, you should move in with me. This is perfect. We've been together for 6 months. And Beck is like, actually, remember I was only here because my apartment had bugs. So, I'm good, actually.
Yeah. Thanks,
I think.
though.
Thanks, though. I will keep your key and come here whenever I want. But no, I'm good, actually. And he's still like, I want to buy you a laptop. I want to get you everything you need. I think I might go to the same school as you. And she's like, whoa. Hold on. I'm just gonna go to school, actually. And see you later, actually.
Yeah. You know, we'll circle back on this, but I'm just gonna go. That's cool.
Yeah. And he's doing a lot of things of like, I know to let you walk out on your own, and I text you later, but you don't reply, but I'm not worried or scared, because I know you too well. And all this stuff. And he's making all these big plans, because it's been almost 6 months since they met. Again, since they met, not when they started dating, for real, but since they met. And he mentions that how he's going to go all out is that he is going to set up a table in the cage, and they're going to have a candlelit dinner.
Uh-huh.
Then they're going to fuck in there.
Yup.
Then he's going to give her the present that he bought, which was a dress that he found in her Victoria's Secret cart from hacking into her email.
Yup. And the amount of work he did to get this, where he was like, I found this in your shopping cart, and I finally traced down the product number, and I looked it up, and I got it for you. And you say you can't pull it off, and you text your friends about it, but you never buy it. But I bought it. It's like, sir, please, God, can you give it a rest?
Yeah, like most people, Beck was probably doing the thing of putting it in her shopping cart, then waiting for the store to send her a coupon.
Right.
So she was probably just going to get it for herself, or she changed her mind. So you never know, Joe.
Right. You never know things about your partner if you don't talk to them and only just assume what they're thinking because you're inside of their email.
Yep.
Funny how that works.
Funny. Weird things. And then he buys a Pitch Perfect DVD, and he's talking about wanting to get everything shipped tattooed on themselves.
God.
And for her, like, on her inner thigh, because that's great.
That's fucking hot, baby.
That's hot.
Just give me everything shipped right here, bucko.
Can you imagine Beck having to go get her pap smear and the gynecologist having to ignore that she's got everything shipped tattooed on her inner thigh?
She's like, I'm sorry. Please ignore it. I don't want to talk about it.
It's a fake tattoo, actually. It's one of those ones, it'll rub off by tomorrow, actually.
It was a joke. It's henna, so it's fine. Don't even worry.
It's henna! I just didn't shower before I came to this appointment, actually. Sorry.
I just painstakingly wrote everything ship also was such a long word.
Yeah.
Just to have that sprawled around your inner thigh is haunting.
Especially because even though he said, like, small letters, that would still not just be, like, in her inner thigh. It would go through to her mid-thigh.
Oh, there's wraparound. For sure.
Yeah.
Don't even get me started.
Oh, my God. Anyway, so he's, like, at work and putzing around and fiddling with the fiction section. Because there's, like, new James Patterson, but he's, like, not upset or whatever.
I changed a new leaf. I'm not mad at the normies anymore.
And he's, like, not annoyed with Ethan's music. He's, like, a new person at this point. So he texts Beck, like, be home soon, and she sends him another just a K. But he's not mad this time.
It's fine.
Because...
It's fine.
Yep.
They're in love. It's
they
beautiful. People change.
They do. And on his way home, he has this, like, weird revelation of he, like, I don't know, has this weird flashback to, like, his childhood of this, like, he's like, my whole life I've never felt at home. And he starts talking about, like, with his dad, his dad would, like, bring a Christmas tree home, but they would never keep it up until Christmas, and they'd never be able to have Hanukkah. Like, he starts talking about, like, life was never good for him.
Yeah, he really does a full monologue situation.
And he starts doing another list about Beck, about all these things that make her so good, and that sometimes she doesn't listen to him, but that still makes her perfect because even when she's not listening to him, she's listening to him, apparently. So there's parts of Joe's monologue that don't really make sense.
No. And do they ever?
No, they don't. And by the end of this list, Joe was like rock hard. He wants to just like fucking do it.
Yeah.
And he's got this Pitch Perfect DVD. He's like ready to fuck to the fucking Bellas. And when he gets home, he sees that Beck has the tapestry uncovered in his apartment and is holding the box of all of her stuff that Joe has kept.
Uh-oh.
And he's like, oh, beans, I've been uncovered.
Aw, shoot.
It's like in Scooby-Doo, they fucking rip the mask off, and it's Joe, and he's done the bad stuff.
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh.
How did you
And so
find
that
your
is-
panties?
How did you get...
Ah.
How'd you take the tapestry off and see this big-ass crack in the wall?
My secret plan.
So, chapter 46 starts, and Joe is, like, freaking out.
Yeah. Full panic mode.
Getting all defensive. Being like, you're the one who snooped in my wall. You're the one who is touching the box of Beck. Being all judgmental and nasty.
Right.
Getting in behind my sofa in my special private place.
Right. Because it's Beck's
And
fault.
he's like, it is.
He's not a creep.
He's like, nope.
She's snooping. And that is worse than keeping your girlfriend's used tampon in a plastic bag in the
Yep.
wall of your apartment.
He says that she's like a sewer rat.
Yeah, it's
She snoops.
gross.
Yeah. Especially because it's the weirdest trophies that of stuff that we don't even know
Yeah.
the meaning behind.
Right.
Of shit like Mardi Gras beads
Yeah.
and Chanel glasses and her yearbook.
Yeah.
Stuff that, for us as the reader, has no meaning or
Yeah.
sentimental value.
Right. And his, like, justification of that are, like, because they are, like, inherently meaningless and, like, they're things that Beck don't think about often, it's fine. Because he's like, oh, these
Yeah.
are things you weren't gonna miss. And they're just memories I have of you and that remind me of you or whatever. And it's not like you're gonna really look for them and not gonna care they were gone. So why don't I just
Right.
have them?
Whereas in the TV show, it had Peach and Benji's stuff in there,
Right.
mixed in with her stuff, which made more sense.
Right.
Of like, oh, I'm gonna hide the stuff as well as it's my trophies kind of thing.
Right. And it was also more incriminating
Right.
in that situation. Where, like, none of the Benji and Peach stuff really is coming into play in this interaction, at least.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know where he's kept that stuff,
Yeah.
if he has. He... God damn it, Joseph. He does my favorite thing, which is he tells her to calm down.
Love that. Because she's obviously overreacting.
Of
And
course she
definitely
is.
not being instinctually, like, reacting from her heart and her fears because her boyfriend has been stalking her for months
Yep.
and is denying
he
it.
instead responds by putting lols in his thinking,
Yeah.
which really was something.
Yeah,
to
paints a
read.
picture, huh?
And he just keeps being like, calm down, like, why don't you sit down on the sofa, like, I'll just explain it all. And
If only you weren't so hormonal, we could have a conversation about this. But you can't make any goddamn decisions in this state.
oh yeah, because that's the thing, he thinks that she's just like PMSing.
Right.
Because he's like, oh yeah, well last month you did this, you got like violent and screamed because I threw away a 3-day-old burrito.
Uh-huh.
But then the next day you got your period and you kissed me on the cheek and was like, when I do stuff like this, it's not really me being
Right.
me. And so now he's just like, oh, well, she's just doing that again.
So if Beck is behaving in a way that I don't like, it's because of her period. And I can use that as my ammo to make her feel like shit and that she's wrong and making this all up. Love that. Love that.
Super good. And then he does this, like, zookeeper thing, which was really confusing.
Yeah.
To just, like, dehumanize her, I guess. Where he just pretends that she's a lion because
because she needs to be fucking in a cage and needs to be tended to, or otherwise she'll go berserk. Right.
And so finally she's like, so how long has this been going on? And so Joe finally is like, well, you know, I was pretty obsessed with you when we met. So
what can I say?
You flirted with me and
which gave
had
me
a connection.
Permission.
Yeah. But I didn't want to spring myself on you and ask you right there, so I just waited and just took your stuff instead.
So...
totally explains it all.
We're good, right?
And she obviously is, like, not okay with any of this. Right. And then she finds her stories from her email. And she's like,
that he's, like, bounding in a book, like a physical book.
Oh, yeah, because he was like, oh, it's okay, Beck. I'm gonna get these bound, and they'll be for you. It's all for you. Mm-hmm. And she's like, you fucking hacked my email. Like, none of this is okay.
Yeah, and this whole time she's, like, reasonably freaking out and being like, you need help. Like, you should see someone. This is not okay. And he's just, like, every chance he gets to just make her feel like she's crazy for thinking that way.
Yeah, and he keeps being like, every time that she's like, this isn't love, this is something this is wrong, mm-hmm. He's like, no, this is our relationship, this is everything ship. And she's like, no.
I didn't sign up for this definition of everything ship, actually.
Yeah. And so eventually it gets to the point where she tries to leave, and he's like, you're a lion, you need to be caged up, so I'm just going to overpower you. And when you yell, I'm going to tell you can't scream because the neighbors will come. And it's awful. And so it gets to the point where he just keeps holding her down, mm-hmm. until she just, like, passes out. Well,
and he just busts her head on the wall.
Yeah. Yeah. He also just, like, smashes her head against the wall.
No biggie.
And he's like, well, she won't be asleep for long. So he just, like, fucking fireman carries her with some supplies. And he's like, well, we're not going to go to the hospital because that's ridiculous.
Come on.
So he just, like, flags down a driver and heads to the fucking bookstore.
Great.
Cool.
So good. Nothing bad
Super
can happen
cool.
From this moment forward, huh?
Yeah, they definitely won't end up in the cage at this point.
Nope.
Fuck. God damn it. So, next week we have chapters 47 and 48.
Ooh, mama.
The good thing is we have 15% left.
Oh, God.
We're almost done.
Jesus.
So
sweet release.
That is, yeah, we are almost there, which is nice. But the nice thing though is we do have some patrons.
Hell yeah, we do.
To talk about.
Hold on, give me one moment, please.
No. Thank you.
You're welcome.
It's always a surprise to me.
Listen, you brought it out.
I know. Okay. So this week we have Screen Rant Corner.
Oh, yeah.
And this one from Screen Rant was published on October 15th by Hillary Elizabeth.
Thank you, Hillary.
And it is the D&D alignments of Twilight characters.
The crossover we didn't know we needed.
I've needed this for so long.
Okay, well, some of us knew we needed it.
All right. Why don't you get us started?
Hell yeah. Shout out to Rachel Gray,
Ooh.
who's gonna be Charlie Swan. Lawful good.
My dad.
My dad.
I love him so. All right. Shout out to Janae Jasper.
Yeah.
Who's gonna be Esme Cullen. Neutral good.
Ooh. Shout out to Kelly Beck,
Ooh.
who's gonna be Jasper, who's lawful neutral.
Wow. Oh, that's smolder, though.
Ooh.
All right. Shout out to Sophia Salinger,
Yeah.
who's gonna be Alice Cullen, chaotic neutral.
Yes. Shout out to Aaron Salinger,
Ooh.
wayo, who's gonna be Rosalie, neutral
Ugh.
evil.
Wow. All right. Shout out to Alex Blythe,
Hell yeah.
who's gonna be Swole Boy Emmett Cullen, chaotic neutral.
Nice. Shout out to Taylor Brown Town Water,
Holy shit.
who is gonna be our dad, our other dad, Carlisle, true neutral.
Oh, our dad.
Our dad.
All right. And shout out to Katie Weber,
How?
who's gonna be Edward Cullen, lawful neutral.
Great.
Do you know what your alignment is?
No. I don't know.
You should figure that out. I think when I've done it before, I'm chaotic good.
Mm-hmm. That makes sense.
So,
You're a bit of a rebel, you know?
I am.
You're a rascal.
But I think you should figure it out by next time and we'll check in
Oh, fine.
from there.
Can't believe I'm getting homework on my own
You
podcast.
have homework.
Boo.
Okay. I have a fan fiction for you
Yes.
today. And this comes from the author The Fault in Our Ships,
Okay.
which really takes me back
Yeah,
to something.
woo.
And they are participating in something called 31 Days of Fic, which is fucking something, I guess. And I guess they're doing, well, unsurprisingly, 31 days of fic challenges. All of these surrounded by Alice and Jasper.
Okay.
And so the one that I chose here is from their Day 10 challenge, which is Jasper's thoughts while Alice is away during new moon.
Okay.
Jasper's POV. I felt like I was dying by asphyxiation. Every second hurt. Every minute felt tighter around my throat. Every hour pressed heavier down on my body. And every day I felt like I was drowning. We didn't need oxygen, and technically we didn't need human blood. Something humans like to believe we needed to live as much as they needed oxygen. Don't get me wrong, I strongly prefer it, just not the emotional whiplash that comes with it. So what was I being deprived of currently? I didn't need air, or arguably human blood. The answer was simple. Alice. She's been gone for a few days by now. He wasn't worried about them, even though they hadn't left on the happiest of terms. He has faith in them. Always has, had, and will. No, what he's worried about is the whole situation. They would fix them when she came back. If she came back. God. Jasper snaps a tree in half. Why hadn't he gone with her? Sure, he thought about going back to Forks because she thought Bella had killed herself was a bad idea. But he didn't think that bad idea would turn into her gallivanting off to the Volturi with Bella. Bad luck followed that girl around like a golden retriever puppy, always happy to lick her when she was down or nip her when she got too close. And now that bad luck was following Alice. Another tree snaps by his hand. I should have gone with her, he thinks, because right now he is a fish out of water, struggling to breathe. And without Alice and the ocean of comfort and safety she provided him, he was sure to drown. End scene.
Damn.
Damn, right?
God damn.
Yeah, it wasn't that bad. I was like, all right.
Yeah, all right.
I love a little bit of Jasper being, like, upset, so I can dig it. Oh, he just, like, makes me so emo.
Aw.
I'm, like, all up in my feels right now. Okay. I gotta go cry about Jasper. So, as we say in Seattle.
Get bit.
And get teary-eyed.
Ooh.
And whipped. Bye.
This is an Earbud Media production. You can find us on Twitter at Earbud Media and listen to the rest of our shows. You can find this show on Twitter at Into the Twilight, as well as intothetwilight.show. You can send us an email at intothetwilightshow@gmail.com. You can also become a sponsor of the show or buy some merch at intothetwilight.bigcartel.com. Our art is done by Maddie Padilla, who you can find at YourGhostHost44 on Instagram, and our music is done by Eli Krause, you can find at Eli Sauerkraus and KrausFilms.com. The intro and outro is by KB Smith, you can find at KB__Smith on Twitter. You can find Allie on Twitter at Into Wild Places, and you can find me at Dyke Discourse. You've been listening to Earbud Media Production. Earbud Media. Audio for everyone.